Hey guys, so this is a video in response to uh, Emily learning bushcraft, which she was trying to start a fire with a inner tube. And I'm going to show you why, that it didn't quite work the way that she wanted it to. And the reason that it wasn't is that she was using a ferro rod. Now, ferrocerium rods or mishmash metal rods, flint rods, whatever you want to call it, it really needs to have something that is highly combustible and very easy to combust. The problem with inner tubes is that it doesn't take a spark. So it's not as combustible as what you would need, but it is very useful in the idea about if it was wet weather or anything like that, that it will work because it will burn longer. So I got some inner tube pieces here from an old bicycle inner tube here. And when I sent her a message, I sent her the idea about it was called a Ranger band method. The reason that is that during World War II, Army Rangers were actually using all the inner tubes on their knives and such for grip. The same thing I use since she's from Sweden, I'm using my Mora. It gives you extra grip, but also for many different things. You can lash things together very easily and other things such as that. So the biggest problem though is that it won't take a spark from a ferro rod. This is very, very important that you have to understand. You have to have some type of ignition, so like from a big lighter. So I'm going to cut off a little piece of this before I burn myself up. Don't like getting burned. But so what you would have to do is using a match, and I'll use a match too, from your lighter, just like that, and it will burn for a while. So. And let me show you from a match too. Find one here. Come here. So, from a match, get it going there. We'll just see how long they burn. Match is already out. This thing's still going plenty strong. And it will burn like this for several minutes. It's actually getting very hot. Now, of course, it's not super wind resistant as what many other people would want it to be. It's just not going to do it. It is what it is. But it's also much more effective than just a match. So matches are very, very, very perceptible to the wind, and they just don't work not that well. I'd rather have a match than nothing, but at the same time. So that is the problem with the ferro rod, is that trying to strike it from a ferro rod is just not going to work. You have to have an actual flame to start it before then. And what you had actually been using also after your video was started, and you tried several times with that, is that you used a cotton ball. Now, one thing that I would do is that if I had plenty of this, so this is a good chunk, this will burn for a while, is that I would actually take just a small itty bitty piece of it, kind of fluff it up, take this, which is already rolling, obviously, put it on the inside, just like that. So if all I had was a ferro rod, let's see if it works. There it goes. Now, hopefully it's working. As you can see, it's burning. So But yes, that's one way that you can get it to work very, very well. So just take a little piece of your cotton ball, put it inside of there, and it will catch. So let me do that again because it didn't look like it caught very well. So again, little piece of cotton ball. This is not Vaseline soaked. This is just regular cotton ball. They're actually in my other setup right now. So again, just like that. So I can angle it down a little bit more. So I'm having to use this on my phone. So. It wants to catch. There it goes. So angle it right. There it goes. So now you can see that it is actually catching. So knock that out. And it's already caught. There's where the cotton ball was. This is this. So very, very good way to do that as well. And a lot of people are wondering why people use bands like this, and that's really a major reason why. It's still burning. Sorry, that's still burning. Is that, first of all, I use them on my knife because it gives me a better grip. It gives me something a little bit more to hold on to, a little bit more control, things like that. So, and I'd actually noticed the knife that you were using, that it was a very small knife as far as the handle. You can easily get some small tubing like this, cut them up, very small. I'll actually show you right now. So again, the tubing that I'm using, this was a road style bike, so they're very small tire types. It's not a mountain bike or anything like that. One of the more expensive ones. So just take your knife, let me angle it down again. Try to. Out of the way. So just take it about half an inch, quarter of an inch. And I like to kind of roll it, just works a little better. And then there you go. And these can expand quite a bit. So very tough, I've noticed. Very puncture resistant. So significantly larger than what it was when I cut it off. This is going to give you a lot more grip on your knives. It's going to be a good fire. Just keep your fire going and get it set a little bit easier when you don't have a lot of tinder. Again, also it gives for good grip, good for closing things. So if you're like me and you carry the Altoids style survival kit, which I'm going to do a video on as well, it's actually really good. Now the ones that I have right now, these smaller ones, are really not quite big enough to do this one, but they are very good for doing different things like that. But that's what your real problem was. And I told you in your comment section that I was going to make this video for you. And that's really why you were having the issue with it. It doesn't take a spark, it needs to have a flame. So when you're in an environment where it's wet, not super windy, but wet, you can use these very quickly, very easily to get your fire going. And that's really what I think when people were starting to say that you should have inner tube with you, that's what they really meant you for. So I know trying to start one with a match is not easy when it's wet. You need something that's dry, that can burn, and rubber burns for a very, very long time. So that's really what you need to do. My next video is going to be actually on my kit and my EDC, which, if you don't know what that means, is everyday carry. So go ahead, watch that one too. I'm going to make that one directly after this one. I'll probably upload it the same day. But also it's going to be, I'm going to refer to you again as well, because you just done your EDC pack, or your emergency 24, 72 hour pack. There was a couple of things I noticed that you were missing that I personally believe is very, very important. And we'll see from there. So see you guys on the next video, I guess.